What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our Surviving Java series. As you can tell, we are actually making that progress, chipping away at this area over at the Quad Witch Hut. And yeah, it doesn't take too long to build them, but for some reason I'm fairly sure I'm building them too low, because what keeps on happening, after the first run, I tend to lose one or two of the TNTs. It's not blowing up the actual flying machine, but the TNT tubers underneath, it's catching one or two of them as it goes across, and obviously TNT's bouncing off other TNT. And then it does take a good, about another hour or two afterwards to tidy up all of the stray blocks. And it is handy having the puddle jumper or trident with Riptide, because regardless of how low it seems to take them down, the only time I'm unable to actually land on a block is when it's right towards the top. So using this down here, when you take out the random stray blocks, you can pretty much land on the majority of them. Oh, hello, zombie. Coming out to say hello. Yeah, so using the Riptide Trident in order to get rid of the stray random blocks is definitely handy. But nevertheless, we're going to move on swiftly from this area, because what I do want to build in today's episode is somewhere to store all of them horses that someone had kindly put up into our treehouse. Because they've been stuck there for a while now. Oh my god. For a while now, I would really like to create a permanent home for them rather than just slaughtering them all, because they have been a staple of our base area for quite a while now, and I would feel a little bit bad about just murdering the likes of them. But let's head over to our treehouse now. Let's go through here. Although getting to my treehouse from my storage room does seem to take a lot longer, because then I have to come all the way over here. World load in, please, thank you. And then got the elevators in order to get up there. Sometimes it's easier for me just to go to size in her portal, because her portal's right at the surface as it is. This one you have to go up 2 different elevators. But I have actually mapped out a design. Now, obviously we built the farm last episode for the hay bale blocks, and I have actually got a bunch of resources, including said hay bale blocks, on me in order to build this design. But it's around about a 40 by 40 area footprint, because I wanted to build it big enough in order to house the other sort of farmyard style. I was about to say Pokemon. So not the right answer. How's the other sort of passive mobs that you would usually find in a pet and zoo? So your chickens, maybe rabbits, sheep, cows, the horses, obviously, maybe some donkeys, mules, stuff like that. And we can make it actually part of our ongoing zoo project. So that way we have somewhere to house all of these passive mobs that you don't really need to create such an elaborate, over-the-top and creative enclosure for every single one of the passive mobs, because it doesn't seem like it would require it, to be honest with you. But I think an area like this, that's in between our tree house and the main zoo building, should be ideal for it. And I don't believe our bee place is here. Where is our bee place? Have I got a waypoint for that? It's I've already started. You've got possible bee cave. Just highlight that and allow it viewable. And it would help if I brought this up. So that's over there. So that's further on past the zoo building. So having another enclosure here. So we've got the polar bear enclosure that Cloud built just there. We've got our main zoo building there, Cloud space, sizzle space, size space, and then further south we've got our, this is where the actual bee cave is, so this one can be remove highlight. It's next to the actual Ravager enclosure, so having something here, that way we can sort of build a pathway that comes from here over to the main zoo building. Still need to do the interior there, and then do a pathway that comes from the other side of the zoo building down this way to our Ravager enclosure, to the bee enclosure, and then we can carry it on and then sort of just start linking stuff as we go. So yeah, what we're going to do now is let me just crack on and get this entire area sort of cleared out a little bit, because obviously we can't work with all of these trees here. And after I cleared it all, I'll crack on with a time lapse of the build, and then I'll probably bring you back after the actual building's done. It's not an overly complicated one, and I do like the style of it because it's like a multi-tiered building that I designed, and I'm quite happy with it because I really do like the look of it. But there's enough of me waffling. Let's just crack on and get it done, shall we? Alright then guys, so building this didn't actually take that long at all. It only took around about an hour and a half to 2 hours to actually build it. Ouch, I have not got any of my armor on, which is very bad. So as you can probably see, we are now actually in our zookeeper outfit, and what actually took longer to do, okay, we've got gates here. What actually took longer to do than the building of it is that me and Clowd actually spent some time mapping out where our pathways are going to be going, like joining each exhibit, and then also our bases to the sort of the feature runs. So if I bring up like my main map after I've slept this night away, we bring this up. So this is our treehouse area. So we've sort of mapped out a temporary pathway that comes through here up to the farmstead building, and then it comes up through here to the polar bear exhibit, then up through the bamboo jungle to Cloud's temple. We've also got a temporary line that runs down over here to the main zoo building, and then from the other side of the main zoo building runs all the way down to the Ravager pen area, and then that's also where we've got our village breeder and whatnot. We are also going to be linking Sai's base, although that hers is surrounded by water, and there is already a waterway that leads all the way to Sai's from Clowd, so I don't know if Sai wants like an additional path run from probably the polar bear exhibit round to like this side of her base, so that way she's got foot access as well. We may also ask Sizzle the same thing because he's one of our neighbours, and then we have also got Mac, who is miles down south, and quite frankly if he wants a pathway dug out that much through the jungle, then he's definitely going to have to hop on and help us do that, because that is a mission. It took so long just clearing the forest from this pathway area, like just doing the area from the farmstead building to my treehouse, which is just there, this section of forest, around about an hour and a half, clearing out all of the jungle trees, the oak trees, the little bushes, making sure that every little bit of wood's gotten, and then flattening out the terrain so it's decent enough to be able to actually have a path put on it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. So as we've got our zookeeper outfit on, and as we have now got this built, I still need to work out some things for the lighting, because we have to have torches dotted around here. I am going to be putting in like hidden lighting, probably some jack-o'-lanterns with some moss carpets on tops perhaps. And then the other issue is also the lighting on the roof. I have no idea how I'm meant to do hidden lighting on the roof, considering it's such an odd assortment of blocks. There is like no, I don't know. I may be able to work in some jack-o'-lanterns in some spots, and then have like oak or birch wood pressure plates on top of it, and then maybe just have some like stairs on angles. So if I had a jack-o'-lantern say here instead of this block with a stair facing in towards here with a pressure plate on top of it, it would do, because obviously we don't need a massive amount of lighting. Like I think to cover the entirety of it, I think I've got like 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5 torches which will light up the entire thing. So 5 jack-o'-lanterns hidden in strategic locations. I could probably even put one in this tree to cover up the majority of the lower layer here, so I wouldn't even have to have that many on the thing. And this tree, definitely, I'm well aware, this tree definitely needs a lot of love. It's just a simple naturally grown tree. It is nothing like the one that I have in the test world. I just did not want to invest time in doing it until I sorted out all the lighting. So we've got our hay bale roofs for our little stable areas. Obviously all of our horses aren't going to fit in there. We're also going to have some horses up here as well as in here in the actual stables. So we've got little stable areas that can hold like 2 or 3 horses a piece, and that's also here. But I need to put some fences here to block off this side and just make it sort of more confined for the actual horses to be stored there. And then upstairs, this is just I don't know, it's just randomly lit with a bunch of hay bales, considering I had a bunch left, and a bunch of barrels for like storage and whatnot. There's no sort of design plan. If you're wondering like why this building looks so familiar, is because I used the framework of the stables that we put over in the winter area for sort of building this. And so the roof shape is the same, and the actual L shape of it is the same, as well as the interior I think is primarily the same, although none of the floorings are the same, all the block palettes different, and there's a lot more different details on each one. But yeah, nevertheless, what I have done over here above our tree house area, I've extended this little pool of water in the hopes that I can actually just sort of walk the horses up this stairway. And then I don't know, do these guys have saddles, or are these just like coloured leather armours? Yeah, but they're just coloured leather armours, no saddles, which means I'm going to have to get either a bunch of leads or a bunch of saddles. Have I got either of them in my tree house still? Definitely won't be here. It's all books and whatnot. They're empty shulkers. These are all going to be empty. Yeah, it looks like I am going to have to actually anything up here, like even remotely useful. Fine. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. We've got no saddles in there, no leads. I've got 2 leads and 3 saddles. Do you reckon that will be enough to sort of get this job done? Oh my god, this is going to be such a nuisance, because I'm fairly sure that they are all like leashed onto the same thing. Can we? Oh my god. Okay, well I think we're just going to have to jump into like a little time-lapse thing of me trying to do this. Alright then guys, so that was relatively painless. Oh, we've still got a stray horse over here. I thought I had got them all, but apparently I have not. So we only lost one. I accidentally missed the pool coming off of the top platform, and it died from fall damage. Two more of them also, so I say missed the pool, and were knocked down to like half a heart apiece. But yeah, one of them just didn't make the drop, unfortunately, and that one perished. So yeah, but it took roughly around about 45 minutes, nearly an hour, to get them all down. So it's given me a newfound respect for the amount of patience Sai and Cloud must have had to get them up there, because my god, such a nuisance. All of our stables though are full, so we've got 2 in each of our little paddocks. I'm not a fan of them getting up on the ledges, and I don't really want to fill them with full blocks, so what I may do is do trapdoors on the outside of these to prevent them from hopping up. Although that's stupid horses, they always like climbing for some reason. And then we've got 3 either side, and then we've got 1 in each of our paddocks down here. And I think like I was a little bit unsure whether to keep all of the leather horse armors, the different colours, but I think it does add quite a little bit of colour, like a nice pop of colour when you're looking over here and you see them all. It's very reminiscent of what you'd get at like the National Derby, the horse races, with them all wearing different sort of coloured, I don't know, what is it, coats that they're called? Things that horses wear? I'm not too sure. I should have really thought about that before I even started the sentence. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is, Cloud's actually on. I'm going to hit him up to see if he wants to help me gather the rest of the farmyard creatures. So we're going to want like chickens probably in a central coop, some cows in one, some sheep in another, maybe some rabbits in one of these ones up on the ledges. But we've got 2 of them. I was thinking goats, but then goats jump and they jump really high. So trying to keep them confined may be a little bit of a nuisance. But yeah, I'm not going to like make an entire another episode just moving these sort of creatures, because there's not much challenge. You just need to find them and drag them using leads, and either that or using their food preference to bring them over. Rabbits may be a little bit of a nuisance depending what rabbits I want. I probably want 1 of each rabbit, which may be a bit of a nuisance. It's just going to be time consuming because obviously you have to go to the different biomes to get the different types. But yeah, I think rabbits, chickens, cows, sheep. I'm not going to bother getting every single coloured sheep because that will be way too many entities for very little reason. I'll just have a small paddock of white sheep, I think. Or maybe Jeb sheep, like rainbow sheep. And then rabbits, chickens can go in the central one. We are obviously going to do a little bit of, quite a bit of work on the outer edges, tidying it up once we start working on the pathways. And then, yeah, so what I'm going to do is get them all in place, and then I'll give you a sort of just a little fly around the actual build to show you what it ends up looking like. So, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.